There's no green light. Is it? Can you hear me? Yes. It's coming through? Oh, there it is. Okay. Good morning. I'm not in great vocal health this morning, and so I was going to change out the first tune to an instrumental, but then I thought maybe I'll just sing what I was going to sing without the harp, because it's kind of special. And I sing it into my harp. It creates a little echo chamber. And the text is from Rumi, and I know we have a hymn that is this same text, but this is a chant. Come, come, whoever you are, this caravan is not of despair. Come, even though you have broken your vows, wanderer, worshiper, whoever you are, come. And so we invite you to come this morning.
Good morning. It is so wonderful to see all of you here this morning. My name is Don Rakow, and I'm very pleased to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather today to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Embracing change is, in fact, our theme for the month of April. As we move slowly and inconsistently from winter to spring, may we think about all the ways we can not only embrace possibility, but focus our energy on building all that we envision. We have many activities this week. Please read the announcement in your order of service or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. We have a few specific announcements this morning. The first from Laura Ramos, our music director. In an effort to create consistency and provide more time for contemplation during the service, we will begin playing the opening meditation, and closing hymns once in their entirety instrumentally before inviting all to join in the singing. We invite you to rise in body or spirit to join in singing our hymns after we have listened to them played all the way through. Thank you, Laura. And now, Magdalene.
Good morning. I have an announcement about the plant sale, which is going to be held 2 weeks from today on April 26th. And we are looking for volunteers. You see there's a giant QR code there on the screens. This is one time when it is okay to get out your phone and you can scan the QR code and this will take you to the Sign Up Genius sign up page. If you're less comfortable with that, you can also take a volunteer card, which is in the little pockets in the back of your pews, and fill that out and drop it at the welcome table. Or you can just stop by the welcome table after the service. We are looking for people to donate plants and to assist with the sale, and that will be on Sunday morning in 2 weeks. So thank you.
And next we have an announcement from the woman in the purple hat, Seema.
Good morning. I love that. So it is past March, we're into April, so I apologize that you have to see me in the purple hat today. And I'm not feeling well, so I apologize also for my voice. But I am feeling really good about the generosity of our church and the growth associated with the church. We have 18 new pledgers this year than over last year. Last year we also had 16. And 60% of our members agreed this year to donate more than last year. If that isn't growth, I don't know what is. In the spirit of change, however, we do have one very large donor whose donation is at risk, and actually very unlikely. And it isn't a lack of desire to give to the church, rather a changing in the way they donate from a single choice to a foundation choice. So that's a large chunk of our expected donations this year. I'll name around $100,000. So we're still below our goal gift. So what does that mean? What am I asking you for? If you haven't yet pledged, please do. Even if you're a recurring pledger, we still need to understand if you plan to pledge next year. There's an exciting party on April 18th that I heard about. I think it's called the Budget Finalization Party. And I was told that as part of the prep, I should deliver cake or a number, and preferably a number. And that helps us make a decision about how to move forward in the following church year. So right now, if you haven't pledged, please do. And if you don't feel queasy about asking your friends if they've pledged, they don't need to answer you, they don't need to tell you how much, but just remind them, right? The budget party is April 18th, and we need to understand what we're working with. So 2 things, right? We're celebrating the generosity of the church. We're celebrating how many more people are interested in working with the church and have decided to donate this year, but we're also seeing a financial challenge. So just wanted to tell it straight and celebrate the generosity of the church and think about what change means here as things both go up and sideways sometimes. Anyway, thank you.
This morning, the chalice will be lit by Camille Doucette But before we get to that, Camille, if you are new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to stop by the welcome table in the parlor after the service, located through those doors. This is where we will have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. And then, in the spirit of intentionally gathering in community, please take a moment to turn off your cell phones at this time. So, also, before we light the chalice, which we will get to, please take a moment now to greet those around you, particularly if you have new or people you have not met before sitting beside you. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. This morning's opening words will be offered by Sue Rakow.
These words are by Soren Kierkegaard. If I were to wish for anything, I should not wish for wealth and power, but for the passionate sense of the potential, for the eye which, ever young and ardent, sees the possible. Pleasure disappoints, possibility never. And what wine is so sparkling, what so fragrant, what so intoxicating as possibility?
Good morning, everybody. I have a very fun demonstration for you all. So, before we get started, I'd like to invite anyone who is young or feeling young at heart to join me on the stage for a time for wonder. Wow, wow, wow. I love that you guys get the very nervous version of me up here because kind of don't really know what's going to happen sometimes after I'm talking. I'm like, woo, some silly things. All right, I already know who's going to open up our Wonder Box this morning. So, Rua, will you do us the honors? What's in there?
Candy.
Candy, a bowl of candy. And what does the sticky note say before we pass this to literally anyone?
Yes, good night.
You may phone a friend.
1%, 30 pieces.
It says 1%, 30 pieces. Try not to think too much, just observe, guys. Okay,
Sticky note.
1%, 30 pieces. Rua, would you like to be the 1% or should I pick someone else to be the 1%? You would like to be the 1%? Come up here. Since you discovered the candy, Rua is our 1%, okay? Come sit. This is your fancy throne and your candy that you are not sharing with anyone. This is all for you. Don't worry, I have 40 more pieces.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you all share this? Yeah. I don't really care how much y'all get. Figure it out. You got it.
One piece.
No.
And
You
save
just.
some for the other kid.
Meh. And so now this sticky note says shh. It says shh. This sticky note says 9%, 40 pieces.
Can I eat all this candy?
Don't eat any of the candy yet. Nobody eat the candy. Just hang on to your candy for now. Please. All right. I noticed some people are feeling sad. Anborn, are you sad? Don't worry, I have 30 more pieces. You can have one of them, okay?
I gave him some of
Wait,
mine.
hold on. We got to give Rua back their pieces. Sorry, this is the rules. I know, rules are boring. We'll talk about that later. Here, you have this. And you have this back. Don't share your pieces.
Why?
Because you don't need to. It's all for you. Okay. This sticky note says 90%, and it has 30 pieces in it. But don't worry. There's M&Ms and Smarties that you can open up and disperse amongst yourselves. And that's like the rest of you. Good luck. Here, pass a bowl. Sure, I'm like, hey Jeremy, you want some candy? Hey Nick.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you. What's your name? Willa, hi, you want some candy? Thank you. Yeah, of course. You don't really have to share it though if you don't want to, you know? It's not really that important or anything. Where's our bowl? Here, I can help pass it. Because of course we want to make sure all the candy's passed out at least, you know? Here, I'll just... How's everyone feeling? Is this fun? I'm having a great time. Nah. I mean, I am sharing. Here, Jane, have chocolate. Do you like chocolate? It's okay if you don't. Oh, here. Oh, I dropped one. Well, someone will figure that out later. You did watch Luna this morning, but I only have a few pieces left, so. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Oh, look at that. Some sharing's happening. Mary Paul, I insist. This should feed your family. Oh, Gareth, you have like 2 kids, right? How about a Twix? I see new faces over here. I'm going to say hi to new friends, warning you ahead of time. If you don't want me to say hi to you, just don't look at me at all. Just start looking away. And if I notice. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Lila.
Hi, Lila. Do you want some candy?
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, of course. It's, no biggie. I have some more candy. Over here. Oh, a family of 3. I have 2 pieces for y'all. Here you go. You guys got this. Sorry, Tom. Oh no, don't eat the candy! Only one, right? Well, it's your candy anyway. All right.
Can I take this all home?
What do we think about this distribution of candy amongst our congregation this morning?
I want British air.
All right, I'm starting with Eli. Eli, you have the floor. Use a big voice. I'll repeat what I can.
All right, so I think that this is supposed to represent the current wealth gap that we have going on in society. It might not be it, but it is what
I think this might, yes, round of applause, Eli. Sometimes we think our kids are not paying attention. Newsflash, they are. They're really smart. Eli, how old are you? 14. How do you know about the wealth gap in the United States?
I think it was social studies.
It's kind of hard not to.
Kind of hard not to. Why? You can very easily see it.
Literally everything in the economy in the entire world right now, Elon Musk, everything in
Elon
the
Musk.
entire world right now is so clear that this is what's happening.
So clear that this is happening. And Amborn, I noticed, hey Amborn, can I talk to you for a second on the stage? It's okay if you can say no if you don't want to talk. Can we talk for a little bit? I noticed you felt like sad, right? When I started handing out the candy at first. Was it sad or was it anger? How are you feeling?
I'm very sad. I want to eat the candy.
You wanted to eat the candy. Did you want like the whole bowl or just like maybe even one piece would have been nice?
Like, I want to eat nothing but this piece of
You don't even want to share your Smartie. Yeah, I get it, man. And it probably felt so frustrating when all the kids were getting candy and then you didn't get one at first. I love this so much. I was like, I'm not even going to have to do a whole lot because the kids are going to lead this time for wonder. Okay, so now that we know what we just noticed, we're going to notice what's in our laps. On average, we have about 100 people come to the church on a Sunday morning. So I would like you to go take your candy before anyone eats anything else. Waldo. We're going to take the candy, and we're going to make sure everyone has at least one piece of candy in the community. Go. Everyone gets one piece.
Can people raise their hand if they don't have a piece of candy?
Raise your hand if you don't have a piece of candy. It's going to be most of the people, probably. Would be my guess. Raise your hand so the kids can tell how many people are going without. And so I'm noticing hands up from some of the people who I handed candy. So I see you youths doing the work. It's just candy, people. I told you didn't have to share. Well done, kids. Everyone should have one piece of candy at the end. If there's any leftover candy, you're going to bring it to me so that we can keep sharing it. And poor Leiden over here
I don't have it.
is waiting. Oh, and Jester doesn't have any either. It's a more gentle landing. All right. Now, thank you so much to everybody in this room for not only this morning displaying what we are experiencing in the U.S., a very, very drastic and devastating wealth gap. But also, we displayed the generosity of our community right here in this building, starting with our kids. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Love y'all. Can we eat this candy? Did you save one for me? All right, with that being said, if you have not yet signed your children in for RE, please follow us into the parlor to do so now. And will the rest of you sing us out to Where You Go, the words you can find on the screens or in the back of your gray hymnal.
Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine
Good morning. In a spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows and appreciations of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise in celebration. I have two appreciations this morning. From Nancy Dolge and Rita Barber, who are the coordinators of our memorial reception team, a heartfelt thanks to all of those who volunteered for Jim Gabarino's memorial service and reception yesterday. It truly was a beautiful act of ministry as we helped friends and family walk Jim home. Please consider joining us in the future. As one of those people, I will say it is really a truly good thing to do. And I think it's from the staff, thank you to everyone who pitched in while Rachel was out recovering from her surgery. A special thank you to Dick Kurtz, Mike Daniels, Phoebe Nolder, Mary Paul Kirkpatrick, Betsy East, Elizabeth Bixler, and Teresa O'Connor. And a thank you to all of the unnamed cleaning elves. There were a number of times we went to clean something and someone had already taken care of it. We appreciate all of you. For those we are holding in our thoughts, in our hearts, and perhaps in our prayers, into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud. For those we are holding silently in our hearts, let us take a moment of silence. We extend loving kindness to all in our world, and let us remember to extend loving kindness to ourselves. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness, and let us strive to keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
Connecting with the wisdom of trees. Imagine standing in a beautiful, tranquil forest surrounded by tall, majestic trees. Feel the warmth of the sun filtering through the leafy branches above, the soft, mossy ground beneath your feet, and the gentle breeze rustling the leaves around you. Take a moment to connect with this serene environment, appreciating the beauty, wisdom, and strength of the trees surrounding you. As you stand in the forest, envision powerful roots extending from the soles of your feet into the earth below. These roots symbolize your connection to Mother Earth, anchoring you to her energy and providing stability. Feel the roots growing more profound and broader with each breath you take, reaching out in all directions and creating an extensive root system that connects you to the surrounding earth.
Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, singing, calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, follow the instructions on the screens. For those attending in person, our ushers will now pass the plate.
This also will be different than what's in the program. I will be playing a suite of 2 Irish tunes, one Song of the County Down and the other an old Gaelic chant called Deus Meus.
Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you. I came in, I don't know why, excited this morning, thinking about just really being here and having another opportunity to share what I think, to see all of your faces, and to really gather this up as one of the most meaningful experiences that I have. I always call myself a collector of memories, because all I do is sit and think about other things that have gone to pass. I am not good at the Buddhist concept of be in the now at all. I don't do that. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the concept of embracing possibility. And I questioned it a little bit, because I always do question everything. And what I want to do is start by reading the blurb I had written. The concept of embracing possibility is deeply optimistic, allowing us to move away from rigid, predetermined outcomes, but lets us explore whether all situations or life experiences present and offer possibilities. I have to make a confession. When I hear expressions or phrases like embrace possibility, I balk a little bit, because my mind immediately goes into overdrive as a slew of questions and curiosities consume me. What does that really mean? How do you do that? Does one embrace possibilities? Are there opportunities for everyone to embrace possibilities? Is this a global reality for all? Over the course of my life, people, even teachers and medical professionals, told me that I think too much. So of course, the only thing that did was made me think too much. Is it possible to think too much? Is there a limit on how much we should be thinking by the day? Can people actually go into overdrive thinking? I often wonder why I don't sleep. I think this is the reason. I also asked the question, how would anybody know that? So of course I looked it up at 3:30 in the morning. And I read, the average person has roughly 6,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, while older studies suggest that people have 62,000 to 65,000 thoughts a day. This was put out by the Dent Neurological Research Center. I would like to question them again about that. Okay, I'm going to stop there and slow my mind down and focus on the concept of embracing possibilities. As a chaplain and as a preacher, as a spiritual person who is deeply concerned with the human condition and the lamentable absence of humanity in many parts of the world, when I speak or preach, my messages must themselves be embracing what's relevant to people no matter where they live. If I'm not doing that, I'm not doing my job. The concept of embracing possibility is real, but does it really mean something to all people everywhere? I have a standard in terms of my speaking. I need to cover the realities of everyone, especially in remembering the kind of work I've done in my life. When I present, I try to honor each person's reality so that they know I understand, that they know that I'm not glossing over their circumstances or ignoring their suffering or disregarding their limitations in this world. My experience working at Bethany Manor with the aging, the abandoned, the physically broken, and the cognitively challenged has brought me closer to understanding the parameters of my calling. Holding the hand of weeping veterans or sitting before those imprisoned, sentenced to life, has done this as well. I can't stop thinking about the people who suffer in this world. I'm not morbid and I'm not humorless. I laugh a lot and I love it. I come from a family of goofballs, quite frankly. My mother was the only serious person in our family. I have no idea how she did that. I love my spontaneity and attitude, asking why not, encouraging let's do it. That's how I ended up in Florida with my 26-year-old niece in water bumper cars, harassing other people in their bumper cars. I'm not Pollyanna, and I imagine that Pollyanna never spent time in a detention center. Just illustrating further who I am, there was a summer about 8 years ago when I went to Alaska. The idea came to me one morning, and 2 days later I was on a flight off to Anchorage. While I was there, I took a helicopter ride, something I had wanted to do since I was a child. I happen to love heights. But here's the thing. The possibility was created out of wishing it could happen and never forgetting that I wanted it. It was important to me. Mainly because so much that I experienced and I lived and I saw was not possible. This possibility took years to materialize because there were no means for it to happen earlier in my life. And it also did not fit in the need of survival that took precedence over helicopters and going to Alaska. When I grew up, it was not possible for my mother to stop working from day to night, 7 days a week. It was not a possibility. It was not a possibility for my best friend Joanne Blondo's father not to drown himself in alcohol because he loathed who he was as a quote-unquote immigrant. No amount of wishing created the possibility of stopping the reality and the painfulness of the Jewish hatred that went on in my neighborhood. Possibility is something we can simply conjure up. And so the idea for some, when it comes to embracing it, is more like magical thinking than it is for others. So I had to ponder what it meant. I had to ponder what are the limits to possibilities. Our lives are shaped by boundaries that we don't choose. The fragility and wearing out of our bodies, the sometimes harsh churning of time wherein we struggle physically and financially, and the despair these conditions can bring, or the circumstances into which one is born, or even ends up. These things pierce the heart and soul, can bring us down, can create a psychological darkness where possibilities don't exist. Some of the limitations we ourselves create are done out of habit, or out of fear, out of the slow accumulation of what we have told ourselves that we cannot do, cannot become, and cannot hope for. Sometimes we limit our own possibilities. But even if we do it ourselves, these things are powerful, and they block what we think can happen. I often tearfully imagine what it is like to live in a country that cannot remedy starvation, poverty, disease, and being mercilessly exploited by bigger, richer countries. My friend, who is 44 years old right now, grew up in Nigeria, where the corruption and the neglected infrastructure often left people without water. Electricity was not part of the lives of those living outside of the cities. Many went from door to door begging for food because much of it was stolen by those in charge. I think about the people who have never been a part of any other reality. Are they to blame for not being able to embrace possibility? This ability comes from observing others lean into it, and by seeing proof that possibilities can light a path to attaining something more or something desired. Sometimes our lives shift into better circumstances, which in turn changes how we see the world and opens our thoughts to possibilities. But this is not everyone's story, and I must internalize that fact before I speak, if I am being serious and credibly compassionate. There are times when I am surface and light, a jokester or frivolous of thought. but I'm never these things when I need to deliver a true message and be the one encouraging deeper, more inclusive passion about all people. I know that we all care. I know that we can do that. Possibility is a bridge to what is and what could be. It is the process of imagining a future before it exists. This is an unknown quote. It's actually a good one. Even though we live in a nation with so much comfort, we still have to confront racial injustice, still unresolved discrimination aimed at those who come here seeking a better life, the crushing weight of rising costs, a healthcare system that leaves too many without adequate care, a school system that often fails the children that it is trying to serve. These are not small things. They are wounds in the body of the country. They're wounds in our hearts. They challenge our faith in humanity. But we have a right to name them here, a right to resist them, a right to refuse the comfort of looking away. Under the weight of this necessary struggle to resist these things, under the weight of our comfort in this country, we can lose sight of something equally true, that we are in ways not to be taken lightly. We are a fortunate people. We retain our freedom to speak our grievances aloud. That is not real for some people. We don't have to fear being gunned down in the streets necessarily, rarely, or bombed because they didn't like what we reported to the news. We can gather and organize and protest as we've been doing and seeing. We can pray without having to do so in secret. We can vote, advocate, and demand better every minute of the day. And sometimes we can change things. These are not small gifts, but in much of the world, these things are unimaginable. And we have to remember that when we speak and we come up with phrases like that, we're actually speaking from a place of comfort and not speaking from a place of deep understanding that in some places, possibilities are slim or not existent. None of what I said is to preach that we should not embrace possibility. It is to say that our own quest to be wise and understanding and attentive to the needs of other people's realities has to include that there are some people who don't live in a way that embraces possibilities. Let's not quietly settle for catchphrases that define us or the lives of others. Within every expression is embedded the opposite expression, an assumption, sometimes the assignment of blame, and a self-comforting, superficial assessment about others. When we say embrace things, just have hope. Go for it. Nothing is impossible. But we're saying to the people who can't make it that you probably didn't try hard enough. We've heard that before. That's what we say about the poor. We say about the poor that they didn't try hard enough. They're lazy. They didn't work hard enough. We blame them for their own struggles, and that is not real. And sometimes, just to be more conscious, we have to understand that that exact blame is embedded in some of our catchphrases. And unfortunately, because I think too much, as I've been told, it bothers me. I worry. I feel for people. It's hard for me not to. Sometimes I tell myself I should not think that broadly. Why? Why not? If it's possible for me to do it, and they become a better person and a more compassionate person and a better humane speaker, then why shouldn't I do that? Although I stay up most of the night thinking, and trust me, I'm not always worrying about people. Sometimes I'm thinking about eating Twizzlers, okay? I'm not always that deep. But I do have something always on my mind. I'm creating poetry and thinking about sermons, thinking about my life, thinking about my grandchildren. One who just turned 14 years old and is thrilled to get a job this summer. And so we were commiserating over how fun it is to see your name on a paycheck. Yeah. If we truly want to embrace possibility, I feel that we should look towards the stars. There's something in nature, the world around us, in the universe that will never let us down, is always changing and expanding and growing like we ought to be. Look toward the heavens. Look toward nature that somehow embraces possibility more brilliantly than we ever have. That is what I did as a child. I created possibility out of my imagination. I created it by watching the trees. I sat and watched a tree as I wrote an entire book of poetry, because that tree made me understand more about life was about, full of branches. Of course, I questioned how one tree could have so many branches, and I actually looked that up too. But it was an inspiration to me. And I'm thinking, wow, nature is like incredible. It doesn't stop. It hasn't given up on us, even though we've abused it. It's there no matter what the planet turns into. I remember being inspired one day when I walked out of my house and I noticed grass growing from under the concrete. And I thought, wow, you can't stop it. It doesn't matter what you put on top of it, how you try to suppress it, how you try to dominate it. It was just grass and weeds. There was one place where those weeds that grow into trees, they're literally trees and they're weeds, coming up through the concrete. I mean, we've all seen like gigantic roots of trees just breaking the concrete out of the way, right? It's incredible. It's powerful, and I love that, That's the way I was as a child. Even though people told me, like, how could you think about nature when you grew up in the city? Because nature is everywhere. That's the wonder of it. That's the beauty of it. Nature governs the world. It is an example, to me, of possibilities. To the broken people I grew up around, it scared me, actually. It worried me that there were no possibilities. But I have to admit that it was nature that was the true example of possibilities. And I was lucky enough to be in a living situation where no one actually suppressed it. My imagination was not thwarted by anything. We were allowed to be imaginative. We had the freedom in our house to be exactly who we were, just children looking for something more. And I loved that. Nature is a keeper of possibilities. It presents possibilities to us through the clouds, through the trees, through the mountains that turn into sand, through the grass that breaks up through the concrete. I want to end with a poem, and then one other thing. This is a poem by someone called Hasmat Amathal, and it is titled No Possibility. Even if there is no possibility or room, we find a desert bloom. We find the flowers on a cactus, something prickly and dangerous, and still flowers grow. We find it in colorful and unique appearances that burst through everything. Nature has remained so blissful. Even a desert town has witnessed snowfall. Where there was no raindrop for years, we find rain in abundance and witness the showers. So in the case with poor families that have given the nation many leaders, saints, politicians, and scientists, nature has given a real twist. It is said, if nature doesn't show, who will believe and go by religious quotes? Nature is for you and the future, just like possibilities. We must believe it and be assured by it. The flowers have their own beauty. Even though surrounded by thorny bushes and branches, there lies beauty in their nature. Nature provides us with all the care we need. Thank you. I wanted to take this time to announce that I will not be here next year. I'm leaving in June. And I'm leaving for a couple of reasons. One is because I've been diagnosed with cancer on top of another chronic illness that I have, so it's very complicated. And two, because I want to take a break and write more. I'll be here up until about November, when I'll move down to Pennsylvania with my son. And I'm moving there. I love when you hear your own stories being told in a very different way. So in my version of moving there, in the world's version of moving there that I know, I'm moving there because I'm sick. My version of moving there is that I'm moving there because my son represents the sunlight to me. His grandchildren represent everything that I love in this world, and I want to be with them if something is to happen to me. As I was telling you about my 14-year-old who is so excited to be, well, first of all, a teenager, God help us, that's like the most monumental thing that could happen in a child's life. And now 14, she feels like, I am so close to being an adult, and I'm sitting there going, that is great. She's ambitious, she's lovely, she's a wonderful person. My son I love to death. He was my nephew that I adopted, and we've been together since he was 9. I actually got married to my husband who has passed away, and my son Jamel was at the wedding and came home with us right after. So we had an instantaneous family, and it's been a long struggle, but it's one of those beautiful memories that I have that I'll always take with me, just like my memories of being here. I'll always take them with me. I thank you for being as beautiful and as sweet as you are and have been, giving, kind, generous, supportive. I really love that. It's one of the things I love about being here in Ithaca. There are a lot of stuff I could leave alone. But I just want to say, I'll be here for a while. We'll talk about what's going on, and that I love you all, and thank you for having me here. All right.
We all wish Reverend Peaches well as she continues her life journey away from us. We will thank her for all the ways she has enriched our church with a special recognition after our service on May 31st. You do not need to know precisely what is happening or exactly where it is all going. What you need is to recognize the possibilities and challenges offered by the present moment and to embrace them with courage, faith, and hope. A special thank you to Jane DeMarcos, who, in addition to being an angelic harpist, also leads our UU choir. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the light of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Let our true service now begin. Go in peace.